Hey there YouTube, this is Michael Kenny of California Wilderness. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a common man arrow using duct tape for the fletchings and what we call a common man broadhead. Now really quickly, scoot forward, focus on this broadhead real quick to show you. Made this from 1/8 inch steel. This I cannot show you how to make. I made this a while back while I was at school. I have some scrap metal. I made a bunch of these. And as of right now, because we're moving, I don't have the time to dish out these. I just have enough time to put all this stuff together. I'm using is oak dowel rods. They're 3/8 inch thick steel arrowheads. Inner cord paracord, the inner strands, and camouflage duct tape. Okay, let's show you the process of how I put this baby together. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, easy. You can find videos by Dave Canterbury and some others showing how to make these. I just thought I'd add to it. Okay, first of all, you take your dowel rod. What you want to do, you want to hold out your arm like you're drawing. Hold the other end of the dowel rod just as though you were drawing, and stick out your finger, your pointing finger, and that's how long you want that dowel rod to be cut. Okay, we got this thing pre-cut to that length. Afterwards, you need to carve out your knock that you're going to have your string inserted on. So I'll get back to you showing you how to do that. Okay, you're going to take dowel rod, set on the boot real quick. Take my multi-tool saw, or my mini tool saw, because my last multi-tool to have a saw on it broke. And the one I use now does not have a saw, or not a thick saw. It has a saw that cuts through stuff pretty nice and fast, but it's not very thick. I use that for finishing up work, but use this one for slower work. It's a little slower because it's stiller, but so I'll get working on this. Pretty much just use this to mark the spot. Take my knife. Pinch it up so once you start it, it can really get going. It should be deep enough now. It's deep enough. You're gonna take your little knife. You kind of make it. You gotta V it out, make it a little wider, because you don't want to try to shove this on your spring and end up splitting your dowel rod. You're going to make it wide enough to where it fits over your string, but tight enough to where you hear that little pop when you put it on. I'll show you guys what that is in a sec. Okay, now just going to take our bow, set it down. You want to hear, see if we hear it, is this. Doesn't really pop. This one doesn't seem to pop, it seems to just slide on. Hang on. Take this. Seems like it's having a bit of a hard time. Take your file, multi-tool. Just clean up a little bit. You don't want it too slick, but you want to get that little. Well, it's not popping, but it's sure sitting on there real nice and good. Sitting on there deep enough, so put our bow aside. Now we've got our knot cut, we can focus on our fletchings. Take our duct tape and throw all the tools away. I'm gonna take about, let's see, hang on. Let me look at what arrowhead we're gonna be using. We'll decide the size of our fletchings based off of that. Dump our arrowheads out. Okay. Now, we use smaller arrowhead. You want a bit smaller fletchings because you still want this to be forward heavy. If I use a good thicker arrowhead, I don't mind having a bit larger fletchings. So my decision is which arrowhead do I want to put on. Yeah, I'll stick with a good thick one. That's pretty much what the other ones look like. And as to this arrowhead, it's a bit of what I'd call a prototype fishing arrowhead. I'm not going to show you too much of that one because I'm going to do that in another video. What you want to do, take a piece of duct tape, good 4 inches long. I'm not going to really worry about the exact measurement just yet. You want to take it, you want to lay it perpendicular, because you need a cock fletching to our knock. So you gotta keep in mind, knock is running this way, feather is going to be running this way. So if I turn right here, feather is going to be this way, string is going to be this way. So take this, lay it across there, just past the center point. But okay, now it's just sitting on there real quick. Set this down. Take another piece of duct tape, and as close as you can get it, tear it off. Put that up there. And now you're going to do the same on the other side. Keeping in mind where your knock is. I'm going to try to bend this back for a moment, get it out of the way. Just past the center point. Make sure it's pretty well lined up with the other one. What you want to do is jump that together the base first, and work your way out from that. If there's any creases, you can do it and fix the creases. It doesn't look quite pretty right now, but it's our first fletching. We'll clean all this up in a minute. First, you want to get your other 2 feathers at least on there. I like to stick with 3 feather fletchings. You can do 4 or into weird configurations, but I like to stick with simple 3. So, like this. Measure with the other 2, about the exact same. Okay, and this one you want to slightly, actually a bit more slightly, because the angle, you gotta worry about the angle of the feather. Now if I was going to make a 4 fletching, just slightly overlap, and then I'd have another one sticking out here and another one at the bottom, but I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to come up all the way up to it. Lay it down. Make sure it's generally straight. Okay. Make another one. On there, you can see start to come together. Now we're going to put one more right here. So Set this down. Get that piece of tape. So I'll lay it on there. And one more piece. Set tape aside. Make sure to line this one up. Make sure there are no creases in there. Okay. We've got our 3 feathers on pretty well. So now what we need to do is trim them up. Now since I'm inside, I don't have a nice size log to set these on to trim them up. So what I'm going to do is take the lid from my cook set, set it down. I'm going to use this to trim my feathers on. Take my knife. Try to get this all the way so you guys can see. Take a knife. Carefully. Cut through it. A bit of a hard time here. Stuff is sticking to my knife. Okay. Now we got our first one cut. Now just do the same process. Cut the other two about the same. Go, bud. Okay, now we've pretty much got all 3 of our feathers cut, all but the same. What I like to do is for any little slight imperfections there might be, I'll make them helical fletchings. So, excuse me, grab and twist, and then undo, and even them out. I have 3 helical fletchings, okay, and then that pretty much takes care of the fletchings part.